So this is just a brief overview of what iAgri Online farm system can do. It's a web-based program that allows you to log in from any web-capable or internet-capable device throughout the world. It's not restricted to any hardware or anything, it's as long as you've got internet. So you could log in from, say, a Windows machine or an Apple machine or an iPhone, from a smartphone device as well. So first you'd get a login, so we're going to log in, the username and password. The next thing you do, we recommend setting up. This is the home page, and it gives you an overview of what some of the parts of the program are. So first we will go into setup. Setup of the program is actually the first thing that people should do. At the moment we've just got some demonstration data in here. So first you just set up your farm details, and then the next part would be to set up your headings. These are used throughout the program within the Cashbook and within Invoicing and within other parts of the program, and they're useful for customizing the program to what kind of farm operation you run. We've tried to cover most of them in here. If you need to add any more in, you can just click on the Add New account code, and that would allow you to add any new ones in, or you can just rename any of the ones that are down here. Also, turning off the Show in Cashbook turns it off in the program. So if it's turned off, like asset purchases here, it means that it won't show throughout the program, so you won't have it as an option in the Cashbook or in the invoice module. You can also add sub headings as well in here. So you've got your main headings, and if you want to break down headings into subheadings like administration, you can have all these other subheadings. And you can also create automatic splits. So if you know that the electricity, you can split it between electricity farm 25%, which is GST, has GST on it, and personal drawings health electricity 75%, which doesn't have GST. So if you use that heading in the Cashbook, it would split it automatically, split it 25%, 75% for you. The next part we do have is also is enterprises, and they're used throughout the program for if you want to break a sub part of your farming operation down and just see what the expenses and income items are related to that enterprise. You can do a report after you've done your analysis in the Cashbook, and you can see if it's making you money or if it's losing you money. The other heading is budget. That's very basic, kind of just setting up your interest on overdraft and your overdraft limit. Wages also, this is where all the rates are set up. So in primary, you'll see these are the current IRD PAYE rates. You can also set up your deductions and contributions for KiwiSaver and student loan, and it's a fully functioning wage book, so you can it covers ESCT as well for KiwiSaver. It also allows you to set up occupations, so you can set up shearers, shed hands, casual employees or permanent employees, and it gives you all the different parts down here. The next part is to set up the bank accounts. Now they are used in the Cashbook to import your bank statements and analyze them and go through and just say what things are for, and we'll cover that in the next part of the tutorial. So you can come in here and add a new bank account and set it up so that it allows you to start importing your bank statements into the program. The next part of the setup would probably be drawing your map, which is quite important because the map's integral to the program. And at the moment, there's a couple of paddocks in here, but if you started off, you'd have a blank screen and you just type your address in here and go to address, and it would take you to your address and allow you to start drawing your paddocks from there. And we link into Google Map, so if you zoom out, you'll see this is somewhere near Oamaru, I think it is. And so you come down here, scroll down, and you just go and start drawing your paddock by clicking around the boundaries, and you can zoom in and out depending on how close you want to get, and then you just click save here, and it will add the paddock into the list here. So that's one of the major parts of the program as well, to set it up, is just to draw your map. The next part is to plan your business, so that is to do your budget and your feed budget. So we've got a couple budgets in here already, so I'll go back to 2013. And this is just an overview. This has got a bit of data in here already. And the way you can add your budget details in here are these are the headings that have come through from the headings within setup, so they're the ones that we've turned on. You can either add figures in here just by clicking on here and adding a value in, say $2,000 in September for off farm income, or you can actually select that heading and go up here and say you've got $1,000 and you want to divide that across the whole year. So we'll go like divide that across, and that'll divide it out and add that $83 onto that $2,000 we added in. So that allows you to quickly add details into here as well. We also have worksheets in the background which give you the option to create more detail on what you've put into the budget. So if we go into this worksheet for grain income, you'll see that there's only one option in here, but you can add more details in here. Say that was for clover, and you can start adding more details in here as you go. And once you've done that, it should come through into the screen here. And you can add these figures in with GST or without GST. So some people, they get estimates or they get values that are GST inclusive, so they want to put those figures in for, say, income, and then expense, say you get your figures and they're GST exclusive, so you come in here, click that and add your figures in, and they'll be GST exclusive, and you can flick between the two. And once you've done your budget, and if you're happy with the budget through the spreadsheet view, you can go back to totals and you can have a look at the overall how it's going for the year. You can also click on the actuals button and that'll bring up all the actuals for that year as well, and then you can compare. This one's got a bit of demonstration data in here, so has quite a steep incline there. So you can also add values into your spreadsheet, into your budget, using the paddocks that we drew. So come into Paddock Planner, and we've set up some gross margins here, and a gross margin is basically what you think you'll return per hectare for a certain crop. So for milling wheat, we're going to return 2,236.46. So if we drag that into a paddock, it'll automatically populate the budget back here in the spreadsheet view, and it adjusts the totals for you. And you can play around with the gross margins by customizing them in here. So this is where you set up your sales and your expenses for that gross margin. You can also take crops out and put them in. So if we go into paddock info, you'll see that these are the ones that have been added in. So if we take out that milling wheat 1D, that'll delete that out of that screen. So when we come back to this screen, you'll see it's been deleted out of here. And you can also do the same for stock, set up gross margins for stock and add them in and take them out of the budget with the click of one button. Makes it quite quick to set up. Also, so once you've done your budget, you can do a feed budget, and that gives you the chance to put in your animals, your feed demand, so amount of animals you're going to have on the farm, and also your supply, so the grass or the hay or the type of feed that you're going to have on the farm, and it works out a graph for you to see how you're going and how many animals you can have on at certain times of the year. Alright, so the third part of the program is to manage and record. So this is where you do your Cashbook invoice. This is where you record your actuals happening on the farm, and also record your activities, so your paddock activities and stock activities in here as well. So we'll go into the Cashbook. We'll go into one of these transactions. We'll say for this check that we've imported from the bank, hasn't been analysed because it's got a wee triangle through it. Say that was for say animal health. Start typing it in here. You can say that was for some drench. Put some particulars in here. Assign it to an enterprise, that we explained earlier on in the setup. So you can assign it to say white clover. Doesn't really make sense, but we'll just leave it at that. You can say what quantity it was. It works out the rate for you. And this is where you start analysing your Cashbook transactions and you'll see that that one hasn't got a wee triangle beside it now. So that means it's been analysed, ready to move on to the next one. So say this one here was for some sheep sales, say sold some lambs to the works, maybe 200, and it works it out for you. You can also train the program to remember certain transaction heading links. For example, supermarket is always personal drawings. Then the program will remember this each time it's imported and help you speed up analysis. So that's the Cashbook. So in the invoice module you can set up invoices. We'll just see if there's any in here. So if you run a wee contracting business on the side, you can come in here and create invoices for people. So we'll just view one that we've created already. And what it does is it saves down a PDF for you to either print off or to send to your to the person that you're invoicing. So you can set up, you can even put your logo up here if you want to, but this just creates a basic invoice for you just to go through and print off and send off. Alright, so the next part, so you can do that, and you can also receipt them, so you can go through and just work out who's actually paid, and then you can keep a track of what invoices have been paid and which ones haven't been paid. Alright, so in the Wagebook you can set up employees, and you can set up PAYE. It works out PAYE for you. It also does deductions, so KiwiSaver, and it gives you a take-home pay for you to print off a pay slip. It also allows you to record leave, so you can come in here and record sick leave, annual leave, leave without pay, so you can come in here and record that for the person. You can set up how much leave they're allocated and how much they've taken, and it works out how much they've got available. It also allows you to print off reports for the IRD, so you can do your IR348. Go back to say February where some payments have been put in. You'll see there's the IR348 ready for you to either fill in manually for the IR348 or print it off and send to the IRD. And you can do a monthly summary as well. Another useful part of the program is the diaries. So you come in here, once you've drawn your paddocks, you'll be able to drag and drop, say, fertilizer onto a paddock and say, okay, we fertilized that paddock. Come in here and put in, it fills in all the details for you. Say what fertilizer you used. So put that on. And say we do spreader. Cost of activation $20, and it should calculate out for you and keep the information in there. And once you've built up a list of activities, you can use this tool here to filter them. So we'll go back to 2013 and we'll say we just want to look at all the fertilizers that we put on for 2013, and it lists it out there. It gives you a summary on that, and you can also print off a report that allows you to print off a report and hand to, say, to anyone that you want to have that report. You can also use the stock diary as well. So this is for recording stock activities. You do the same thing. So in here we've got some drenching. Yep, so we've filled this in before. And you can add your own ones in here as well. Another one is general diary, so we've got the general in here as well, so you can add any records, anything that you did in here that doesn't fit into the paddock or the stock diary. Also a weather diary, very basic weather diary. You can record the weather for the day, and once you've built up a list of weather activities, you'll be able to go through and look at any trends and stuff like that. Also, the last section is section 4, is analyze and decide. So we've got a whole list of reports in here that once you've started entering the data into the program, you can get information out of that. So in here, say we do a Cashbook details, we just list all those banks, go back and we'll just do a couple of months there, and this gives you a Cashbook details report showing you all your contracting incomes, or your sales of beef cattle, or and then all your payments down here, or your expenses, and it gives you a detailed report on that. And then down the bottom it gives you a grand total for that period. And we also have other reports as well. So we've got your GST report where you can do your GST, print it off and send to the IRD. We've also got, like I said before, we've got your Wagebook ones in here. We've got your invoices to see your debtors, who owes you money, and budget as well. You can compare your actuals to your budget figures and do a comparison on how you're going throughout the year. Once you've created your budget, once your actuals are starting to come in, you'll be able to compare how you're going in certain areas. And also we've got a library in here as well, which is quite useful. It has a whole lot of forms in here, some spreadsheets that are things that we decided to put in here but not into the program yet. So these are things that we'll probably develop, but at the moment we don't have them in the program. So we'll just use this budget milk income calculator. And you'll see this is a tool that you can use. Start filling in details. Gives you a graph on your actuals and your budget. So you can fill in on some of these details, say when you expect the milk solids to come in, what percentage on what month you'll be doing. Adjust these and it adjusts the figures down below. Yeah, so these are just tools that we've decided to develop but not put into the program yet. So these are standalone Excel spreadsheets that we might put in at a later date. And we've got a whole lot in here. There's also some forms that will keep up to date. So like the TB animal status declaration form and stuff like that. So you can use that once we build up a list. We can they'll be useful for actually looking at. Also got an internet list in here. So these are just like a bookmarks for people. So we keep useful websites in here, and we'll try to keep these up to date to be the later ones. That's pretty much the program in a nutshell. Log in yourself and have some fun, and don't forget to use the inbuilt help feature if you have any problems.